When is enough enough? It's a question I've kind of been going back and forth with myself over the last week. And it all started last Saturday when I was doing a night shooting session. And it was the best night shooting session I've ever had. It was one of those shooting sessions where everything goes your way. Mag changes were awesome, 10 yards, 100 yards, didn't matter. You were just killing it. The gear was working exactly the way that I wanted it to. It was ergonomic. Everything was just peachy. And on the way back from that range trip, I was driving down the mountain and I found myself just thinking about how I could change my gun to be better. And I was thinking about, well, maybe I could buy this optic, or maybe get that laser, or maybe change my foregrip out, get a different suppressor. And then I had a different thought, which was, when is enough enough? At what point will I no longer feel like I need to change anything? Why do I feel like I need to change something now? This was the best shooting session I've ever had at night, and why would I want to change the equipment that got me there? And so that's something that over the last week I sort of, every time I had a free moment, would think about. Why do I want to change it? And I couldn't come up with a really good answer. I didn't know why. But yesterday, I got my answer to the first question, which is, when is enough enough? And yesterday was Saturday, June 15th. And that's because I shot a two-gun action challenge match here in Tucson. Now, it was World War II themed, and there were multiple different divisions. I shot in open, but I also shot this. This is my B&T GHM-9C. I have it set up with a Holosun red dot, a Holosun IR Viz laser, a Surefire M640V Vampire Scout Light, and a Dead Air Wolfman. And I've managed to finish 10th overall, but first in PCC. And the next closest guy in PCC placed 44th. And the fact that I was able to place as high as I did while shooting PCC at a match really designed for rifles, it really solidified to me that this is the setup. I don't need to change anything. I don't want to change anything. Enough is enough. For me, it's this. For you, it's probably something different. But I wanted to make this video because I wanted to recognize the fact that I have absolutely fallen into one of the traps of being into guns, being into anything really, but guns is no exception. You see, our economy is driven by consumer satisfaction. If I'm a business and I have a product, I can't continue to sell the same exact product forever because people will get bored. They expect something to get better as time goes on, or to be replaced by something better. Because of that, we have some of the most innovative companies in the world. And that's awesome. But there's a side effect, which is that when you grow up thinking like that, how can I be better? How can I improve? What can I buy or do to make myself number one? It's not a bad mindset to want to be improving, but you get to the point where you're making changes just to make changes. And this is the trap that I've fallen into in the past. When you're constantly changing your equipment around, what you're not doing is getting really confident with it. And that's something that this gun does. I feel more confident with this gun than I do with almost any other firearm I own. And it's not for any one particular reason. It's kind of that the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts on their own. This is not the most expensive red dot. This is not the most expensive laser, nor the most expensive IR illuminator, nor the most expensive suppressor. But the sum of all these parts in combination makes something that, for me, inspires a ton of confidence. And that's something that I think that as responsible gun owners, responsible citizens who feel called to fulfill the duty associated with the Second Amendment, which is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The other side of that right is that we have a duty to exercise that right, to be well armed and equipped. I think that we all get caught up in that mindset of, well, if I just buy something that's a little bit better, that I'll be better. But that's really not exactly how it works. Your gun on paper might theoretically be better, but you're not going to be. So spending $1,000 on a new scope or a new laser aiming module or a new suppressor or whatever it is might make your gun better on paper, but the only thing that's going to make you better is just going and shooting, getting good, spending $1,000 on ammo and training. You will be shocked to find out that your current setup is really, really good if you spend a lot of time with it. And that's how I feel about this gun. Yes, could I probably make it technically more proficient? I could get an aim point, and that would probably improve my night vision capability by a small percent. I could get a D-ball D2 or a D-ball A2, let's say, on a gray market buy, and that would replace both of these things. I should say it would consolidate both of these things, and then I could have a separate white light that's more powerful. I could get maybe a better suppressor that's lighter, titanium. But none of those things are going to help me as much as going and shooting the crap out of this thing. And that's, again, something that I've just gotten caught up with in the past. And I just want to make this video honestly for myself so that in the future, if I ever feel myself walking down that path again, I have something to refer to. And it's this. This isn't the end-all be-all for guns for me. I'm not done by any means, but this has kind of inspired a new way of thinking for me, which is that once you've got something that works really well, just leave it alone. Sometimes enough is enough, and it's going to be different for everybody. For me, right now, it's this. And I bet you would be surprised at just how close your setup is to being as good as it's going to get for you if you just went out and shot it. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.